I was recently asked to review a 2-track EP from beach punk band from the Isle of Wight known as Reminders. I was absolutely up for it because it's always kind of been a dream for me to have a band send me something to review, even if just a smallish band like this. The EP I feel perfectly represents the band so far, and it's about as beach punk as you can possibly get. It has some of the surf rock and just pure punk sounds that bands like Waves have used before, and it also has the lo-fi sounds that they had on their early albums too. Although the sound quality may put people off a little bit, I personally think it gives the track some charm. I will admit it threw me off at first, but that's because I'm someone who kind of sometimes strives for perfect sounding music. But I gave it a couple listens and decided to just ignore the quality of the recordings and just enjoy the music for what it was. And it's a hell of a lot of fun. Going through the band's Facebook influences and artists we like section, I honestly saw a lot of the sounds that they took influence from on the EP. It has the simplicity and energy that early pop punk bands like Ramones had, and also some early Green Day songs too. And the EP just has a youthful sound to it that makes it sound like 3 kids just having fun. And this is what gives the EP a lot of charm and keeps it fun to listen to. And there is a lot of audio clips of the band laughing thrown about as well, which also adds to the charm of it. The EP is 2 tracks long, the first track being the song Just Like a Queen. This track is just under 2 minutes, it's fast and a lot of fun. This is probably the most surf rock sounding track out of the 2. In fact, there's even a reference to surfing in the track. The band are a 3-piece, and instead of recording a rhythm guitar as well and just not playing them live like most bands would do, they have 1 lead guitar part on the track. At first I will kinda say this threw me off, but I have to say it's something that I do admire. In some ways it's much better for a band to record something how they'll do it live instead of giving people false impressions of how the band actually sound. It introduces you to exactly who the band are, something I really do like. They also use distortion on the bass to beef out the track, which definitely makes it sound a lot better. The chorus of the track reminds me a lot of the track Lexicon Devil by Germs, which may or may not be intentional. Either way, I like the similarity. Out of the 2 tracks, I think this is the most lo-fi sounding, and as I said, it gives the track a lot of charm. I think if it sounded perfectly recorded and incredibly polished, it would lose a lot of what makes the track fun. The sound quality adds a lot of personality to the track, and although, as I said, I was a little thrown off at first, I really got into it on repeated listens. My favourite out of the 2 tracks is the song Maddie. The band take a lot of influence from pop punk band Swimmers, whose recent album I reviewed earlier in the year. This is the track that sounds most like something that band would do, but at the same time it doesn't sound derivative at all. This is definitely the catchiest song of the 2. Although I don't think the lyrics are perfect, the track is a lot of fun. The track sounds upbeat and exciting. There's an energy to it that I think very few bands have. It sounds like they're really enjoying playing their instruments, which makes the track much more fun to listen to. I also really like the usage of gang vocals on the track too. Again, it makes it sound like a group of kids having fun, and I think that is something that can sum up the EP perfectly. I honestly kinda struggled thinking of things to say about this EP, not because it's bad or anything, but because it's very simple. But its simplicity is what makes it so much fun and exciting. There are no complicated guitar parts or drum fills, which is very much what classic punk rock was about. And it's great to see a band that capture that simple style that punk has kind of lost. Sure, it's great to see bands experimenting and trying to legitimize the genre, but for someone like me who is a big fan of early punk bands like Sex Pistols, Ramones and Misfits, who never had huge over-the-top guitar solos and stuck to the basic 4-chord structure, I personally really like to see bands doing that. And Reminders definitely do that on this EP. I know the band have a following on the Isle of Wight, but I hope they get bigger soon and maybe even tour across the mainland of England. I was told to be as honest as possible with this review, and although part of me was really scared of criticising it because I know one of the band members, I also couldn't actually find anything to really criticise, or at least something that I felt ruined the EP. I definitely recommend checking out this EP and giving the band some love. I give Maddie / Just a Queen by Reminders an 8 out of 10.
Such a deceptive queen.